Hey girl, hey. Hey boy, hey. It's time for some true crime today. This is Mama Beauties here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that notification button. Come on and do it. I do not put a PayPal in my description below. I'm not hating on anybody that does at all. What does bring you these videos and my hard work are my 100% real nail polish that you just stick on your fingers and go, you guys. There are so many different designs. You don't have to wait for them to dry. They're 100% real polish. They're $5 a pack. You order them from my website, which I will always have down in the comments section. And if you buy 8, you get your 9th set free. So they're super cheap. They're only a third of our competitor's price. You really can just put them on, file downward the excess. There's 16 or 18 double-ended strips in here, so you can figure out which one belongs on the right finger. They're super easy. Never smell nail polish again, and never have to wait for them to dry. So if you're interested, there's 200 different designs you can pick from, and that will be in the comment section of this video. My personal website, make sure it says Mama Beauties at the end when you're checking out. So I wanted to bring you guys this very devastating case. This man, Rodney Reed, is getting ready to be scheduled for execution on November 20th. He has so many people, celebrities like Rihanna, Meek Mill, Kim Kardashian, governors, not governors. They're trying to get to the governor so the governor can grant him clemency or some kind of extend so he has time to get his case up. But this man has went before 20 different judges in the last 20 years, I believe it says. And I'll correct myself if I'm wrong once I go through my notes. But and no judge has let him present his case again. They've all just decided to leave it the way it is and not allow this man to present his case with his new evidence. There's this new evidence that has came out, and I want to explain this guy to you guys so the people that have never heard of Rodney Reed before know what's going on, and you will be able to make your own decision. But it is imperative that people act now. There's actually a petition out with, I think it's 20 million signatures, you guys, to free this man because he's not guilty. Dr. Phil did an episode on him. And so I want to give you the deets that I have that I looked up. And this murder took place 20 years ago, you guys, that he is being executed for. It happened in 1996, and Rodney Reed is being sentenced to death. He's been on death row all these years. He is actually going to be executed on November 20th. So there was a 19-year-old that was murdered named Stacy Stiles back in 1996. This happened in Bastrop, Texas. Miss Stiles was found assaulted, raped, and strangled off of like this Royal Road, and she was found only partially clothed. They said she had been raped, and her pickup truck was found in a local high school parking lot. So she wasn't even found with her vehicle. Miss Stiles was only 18 days away from marrying her fiance, who was a police officer, you guys. Okay? His name was Jimmy Fennell. And he was the last person to see Mrs. Stiles when she left for work, and she had to be to work at the local grocery store at 3:30 in the morning. So maybe she stocked shelves, maybe she worked the night shift. I don't know, but her shift was at 3:30 a.m. And her husband, or future husband, 18 days later, she was scheduled to be married, was her wedding day. She's found murdered, and her fiance is the last person to see her, this Jimmy Fennell guy. And so Jimmy says that he was asleep when she left, okay? And her husband was a suspect in the beginning, but as soon as they found out there was this man named Rodney Reed who had been accused of kidnapping and rape before, but it was dismissed. He was acquitted of that, but he had been accused of this before. So they automatically quit looking at the husband and knew it was this African American man named Rodney Reedy. Now, remember, we're in Texas where there are a lot of racism going on. And so automatically they just said that it was Rodney because Rodney's DNA was found in the body. Now, this story gets deeper. So, her husband. Oh, I'm so sorry. So and it's also interesting to point out that not only did this happen in Texas, where there is some racism going on, but he was convicted to death by an all-white jury. He did not have one African American person on his jury, not male nor female. And so, So just in the last few months, 3 witnesses have came forward, you guys. And that's why he has the Innocence Project and all these people trying to fight for him. Because in the last few months, people came forward implicating Jimmy Finnell. But before that, Jimmy Finnell ended up going to prison for 10 years, you guys, because he kidnapped and got charged with improper sexual activity with a person in custody because while he was a cop in Georgetown, Texas, he went to a domestic violence call while he was on a police officer dispatch call. He went to this DV call and he detained this woman on this call, and that is when she says that he raped her. So while serving those 10 years, this Jimmy Finnell confessed to another inmate that he was serving time with and this guy only was serving time for forgery. So why he would confess that to some guy that, wasn't in there for much. Like I could see him confessing this to a lifer, but to someone that was just in there on forgery, he said that he killed his fiance for sleeping with a black man behind his back. So he then ends the conversation by saying, I had to kill her I had to kill my bleeping loving wife. And you guys can fit that in there. And then another one of Jimmy Finnell's cop friends came forward, and he said that Jimmy confided in him back in 96 when his life was still alive, before he even murdered her, allegedly, that he told him that he had found out his wife was cheating on him and that she was sleeping with a black man. And so, like I said, 2 million people have signed this petition. I thought it was 20 million, but it's only 2 million to free this man. And evidence shows that she was killed before she even left for work. So evidence is even showing forensic wise that she was killed while she was still at home with Jimmy Finnell, her future husband. So since Rodney and Stacy were intimate, they were having an affair. That's why his DNA was found on her, is because they were having a secret affair. And there are people that can back this up. Those people even came on Dr. Phil and said, yes, she told me about him back in the day. We worked at the store together. She said that she was getting married, but she was sleeping with this black man. And so Rodney has even admitted that he was with her. It's so twisted, you guys, and that he is getting ready to be executed for this. So that's why his DNA was found with her body, is because he had been with her the day before, and bodily fluids from a man can stay in a female for more than just a few hours, you guys. There are traces of it after a few days. That's why they think that rape kits are great, because even if you take a shower, they still can get some DNA from a man that raped you. So, ladies, if it just happened, great, get to the police. But if you have to talk yourself into going to the police, then they can still get evidence. Even if you've taken a shower, it's not good to take a shower, but if they're still able to get evidence the next day. So there's still time the next day and even the next day. So please do that. You can be protected. They have policies and procedures in place that protects the victim. So always reach out and tell someone and get some help. Oh, that's awful. I just that word, that R word is just tragic. So, but Rodney is not, no saint. Other women had accused Rodney before of sexual assault and kidnapping, but charges were dismissed and he was acquitted of them. So, but still it made him look guilty because his DNA was with her from when they were intimate the day before, and he had done something like this before but was charged not guilty. And so it just didn't look good for him. And it was dismissed, but it sealed his fate, right, guys? So the Innocent Project swears that their relationship was consensual, that they've got plenty of evidence to back that up. They just need their day in court to prove it. But this man is scheduled to be executed. But more than 20 judges have reviewed this case over the last 2 decades, which is 20 years. That's a judge a year, and they never decided to retry it. Celebs like Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, Meek Mill, and many others have called the governor for clemency or a delay in the execution. But lawyers have even pushed for DNA testing on the murder weapon, which was Stacy's own belt that she was strangled with. So if they don't find Rodney's DNA on the murder weapon, then that tells you right there. But they can't even get a judge to sign off and allow them to send it to be tested. He's just sentenced to execution, and that's it. If they find Jimmy Fennell's DNA on the belt, then and not Rodney's, then they know that it was the husband and not Rodney. But if Rodney's DNA is on the belt, then there you have it. It was Rodney. So they won't even let them check for DNA on the belt. He's just forced to be executed. The ex-fiance was just released from his 10-year sentence in prison, you guys, in 2018. And a former prisoner said, and he's part of the Aryan Brothers in prison. He said that when Jimmy Fennell got into prison, he wanted the Aryan Brothers to protect him. And so he started bragging about how he had killed his fiance and that he was one of them, That was his way of getting in with the Aryan Brothers. And then a former insurance agent has came forward and said that he heard Jimmy say that he would kill Stacy if he ever caught her messing around on him. And so then there's a former sheriff's deputy that said Jimmy looked at Stacy's body at her funeral and said, "You got what you deserve." And the governor has only stopped one execution, you guys, in 5 years in office, while allowing 47 to go through. So these celebrities calling him and all of that and doing what they think they can to get him freed might not work, you guys, and these 2 million signatures might not work. And here this Jimmy Fennell is just walking out, free man, doesn't have anything that he has to worry about. And this Rodney Reed is going to lose his life after he's went around bragging that he killed his wife for those reasons. So I just wanted to update you, my true crime community, let you know that I appreciate each and every one of you. I have so much fun with you on lives, and I enjoy doing my videos too because I don't get distracted and I can just get it out there and tell you guys, and then we can talk about the videos later. But your love and support and the outpour of just the great comments and sharing your inner personal lives with me, and you don't even know me, makes me feel confident that I'm doing the right thing. And I'm just passionate about these cases. I mean, they just bother me. And I love being able to have people to talk to about them because my dad's not here anymore. He used to be the one I would bounce these cases off of, and he'd tell me about his police life. And it's just awesome to have this community, and I want you all to know that I'm very grateful. And let me check my subscribers to see how far I am from 1,000, just so we can celebrate that together. I don't know if I'm going to upload this video tonight or tomorrow, but they're not going to do anything over the weekend with Rodney Reed, so we won't know anything till Tuesday with him either, just like Patrick. And Tuesday is the same day, you guys, that Sherilyn Cadle is doing Dr. Oz. So Tuesday will be a busy day as far as what's going on in the Patrick case and Sherilyn Cadle and her Dr. Oz episode. And I put the link for that in a couple of my last videos, you guys. If you want to check out the trailer for that Dr. Oz episode, I did share the link from somebody else's thing I looked up on the internet. So let me know and tell me what you think about the Rodney Reed case, and if you've been following it, down below. And I will be making a video and doing a giveaway of some ideas of cases that I'm going to look up. I've wrote some down, but I lost that paper somewhere, so we're going to have to get all those suggestions for cases again. I need to be able to write those down, so I'll make a video specifically for that. Don't put those suggestions down below here. We're going to make a video specifically for suggestions on cases you want me to research, and we're going to pick one at a time. I'm not going to do a whole lot at a time. I don't want to get too distracted, but be looking for future giveaways. I'm also going to do an advice live every week. I think I'm going to do it maybe on Sundays, where you guys email me some things that are going on in your life, and I will choose one to do live and give you advice for. I will let you know if yours is the one that I chose. That way you know to be here to see what my answer is. And so I will have people email me just some questions of some advice you think that I might be able to give you about addiction, domestic violence. We will keep you anonymous. We will not tell anyone who wrote in, unless that's something that you want to say, hey, this is me, this is my story. But anonymous questions where I can give you my advice and answer them. But thank you so much for your love and support. Don't forget to subscribe, like those buttons. Also, browse my website for my nails. That is what feeds this family. That's what keeps me up and running and at home, so I can bring these videos to you. Bye, guys.